So, what if everything you know about winning in the global economy is just about to change? Tariffs, trade wars, old school economics. Well, here's the twist. The real battle today isn't about goods, it's about data, platforms, and AI. And that's where you enter, the researchers. If you're still fighting with tariffs, you're fighting yesterday's war. Just adjust and move on because what actually gives you the edge today is something quite different. Stay tuned because in this episode, wow, I'll show you how to win in a world that poor Ricardo could never imagine. So what's inside the episode? We have this myth-busting dive on why David Ricardo is outdated. And then we have an exclusive interview with the innovation expert Patricia Polino from Spain. She'll reveal how research and digital skills are the real game changers today. And finally, we close with an analysis of an open call, probably this year's hottest open call, a live call for clean energy and industrial decarbonization. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the episode. Bye. So, what if everything you learn about international trade was outdated? Not wrong, just a bit out of time. You remember David Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage, which shaped the global economics for 2 centuries. But today, in this economy powered by artificial intelligence, platforms, data, not labor hours, Ricardo's old model is discussable, is breaking down. So let's be clear. Ricardo's theory made a lot of sense in a world where goods were made by people, shipped across borders, and then exchanged based on how many hours it took to make them. His big promise was every country wins by specializing. Okay, but that was then. What about today? Production is digital, platforms, not nations, set the rules, algorithms decide who wins, who loses, who even gets to play and be known. So the comparative advantage Ricardo described was actually about labor costs, all about labor costs. But in the digital economy, comparative advantage is about something else. It's about knowledge, innovation, data control. So Ricardo's theory has limited application here. And the tariffs that politicians are now dusting off and bringing back, hoping that taxing imports will protect jobs or restore some natural order. But here's the truth. Tariffs are tools of an old age, a bygone age. They can't fix the deeper shift happening now. And why is that? Because the biggest economic battles today are not over physical goods. That's, you could say, peanuts. They're over the platforms. Those battles are over the platforms, the data flows, and who owns the algorithms. So tariffs just miss the mark. You can tax away a platform dominance. You can regulate innovation into existence with border taxes. That's how it works. How does this apply to research, to the research economy? Well, what escapes Ricardo and frankly most politicians today is this. Research, innovation, and platform control are the new comparative advantages. The countries and companies that win are those who control the pipelines of data, not the production lines of goods. The winners build, own, and govern digital ecosystems. and the losers get locked out. No matter how cheap their labor is, they just don't play the game. So if you are still talking about tariffs as a main policy tool, I'm afraid you're fighting yesterday's war. To win, you need investment in digital infrastructure, investment in education. You need a real innovation policy, not just trade policy. And you need the ability to shape or at least to access global platforms. So, because your real risk now is not foreign goods, is being left out of the networks that create, capture, and control value. So, how do you do that? Research is the key, and that's why investment in research is so critical. You need to focus on innovation, not protectionism. So you need research. You need to build coalitions that cross borders and platforms. So you need international or interborder research. You need to invest in skills, in research, and in digital sovereignty. So EU-funded projects and international research projects are fundamental here. Because in this age of AI, the winners aren't the cheapest producers. They're the smartest connectors. That will make the difference. Hope you enjoy the episode. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome back to InnovEU. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you so
Today we
much.
have with us Patricia Polino, who is in Valladolid, right, in Spain. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Good, really good. Thank you to contact me and invite me to the podcast. It's my first time doing this. I'm a little bit nervous, but
Don't be, don't
really
be.
good and appreciate that.
Today we are both in luck because we both have power. 2 weeks ago we were completely out of power. How was that for you? How did you survive? Not the lack of power, but the lack of internet. How did you survive that?
Oh, I have to say I was working at the office at that time and everything just turned off and I thought, okay, maybe it's like something about the office or whatever. And then I start getting like messages from my friend or family like, do you have like the blackout or something? And then we start like, from the radio told us it was like something about Portugal, Spain, south of France. And we were like, okay. Thanks God, Valladolid is not like a bigger city, so we just get back like pretty earlier, I would say at 6 p.m.
Oh, really?
We have already get everything, but for example, Madrid were like until night or
Yeah, me
the
too.
next day, so
Me
not as
too.
bad as it looks like.
And did you always had internet or did you
No, no,
also?
no, not communicate. I can't even
Yeah.
call my parents or my family or something, but well, everyone was okay, so nothing to get worried about it. But yeah, nothing, no line, no internet, nothing.
It was a different day, a different experience. So, Patricia, you work for Gabinete de Recolocación Industrial,
Yeah,
GRI. Will you
exactly.
tell us what is this?
Well, GRI at the beginning start like well, it's a small and medium size enterprise, and it's private and profit entity. It was found in 2001,
Mhm.
but at the beginning it was like an outplacement agency. Later it goes expanded into the implementation of free state financing schools, and that's the main activity. And then around 2015 it started to get involved in the European projects, but it was not until 2021 that the department becomes a little bit more relevant. So this is not the main European project, sorry, is not the main activity or the principal work style of the entity.
Mhm.
But it has like a lot of fields that they cover here in Spain. It has like around 10 offices divided
All
on
over Spain?
yeah for all over Spain. So it's like has a lot of different activities, courses that they
Mhm.
implement. But
So
the
it's not your
what's oh,
it's
sorry?
not your main activity, but how do you use these EU programs? What's their role? How do you work in that with them?
Well, we try to being part of projects that we can apply in our organization just to be able to test it
Hmm.
and be sure um, that we know we are working or going on the right direction. So we always try to focus our projects in social terms and be able to adapt it to giving them courses for different communities, maybe marginalized women from rural areas, people who has no jobs and they are looking for it and trying to upskilling or reskilling their different abilities, trying to being close a little bit the labor market and
Hmm.
just try to help everyone at the local field.
Hmm. Okay, just for context for our audience, Spain is one of the European countries with higher numbers in unemployment, so it's an issue in Spain, and it's also a country with many regions that have low population density. So the
Yeah.
interior is not very populated. So that's the reality you work in. What programs have you worked with? Erasmus? What?
Yes, most of the vast majority of our action are TA2. So we focus on that kind of priorities,
Hmm.
like the inclusion, diversity, environment, and fighting against climate change, digital transformation, and common values. But we always try to create impacts, actions like that could be tested on the well tested or give in our company
Hmm.
and and yeah, that's the main of the kind of projects that we try to be part on.
Okay, so I see the role that you projects have in your company, but what about you? How do you like that activity? And if you like it, what do you like? What's the most interesting for you?
Well, I used to be part of all the phases, like writing or creating the idea of the project, and I really enjoy the full project, like from the first to the end, the beginning, sorry. But I think my favorite part is like the process of writing it, like
Mm-hmm.
seeing how a small idea could be transformed into something bigger that allows to actually create something that helps people impact our communities, obviously in the local ways, but even incredible for me thinking that we are helping people from other countries. It's true that, for example, on the way that our company works, the implementation, we withdraw a little bit and leave the floor to the trainers because I'm not a trainer. I'm just the project manager. So they are the ones who put the bulk of the project into practice. And and then obviously we are well, I am the one who have to recap all the information, do the informs and like the final report. Sorry, I thought it would be like the boring part, but I even like it too.
Okay.
Because I can reflect to the national agency everything that we have achieved through the everything that we plan at the beginning that we are getting into it. We are achieving all the results. So even that part is it's a good one.
Well, that's new for me because so far you're the first who actually enjoys because people mostly see the reporting phase as a bureaucracy and boring, but the way you put it, it's I see your point. Yeah, it's how you express what was done, and that's an art as well.
Yeah, it's a way to know exactly that what we're doing is just getting the impact that we wanted. So I think it's part of the process, and obviously, if you take in with this perspective, like okay, we are doing this because we achieve the goals, and we can show the national agency and other entities that we can do that, and we can create like new methodologies or new good practices. So I enjoy that part too. As I tell you, I thought it would be like the bored part, but it was not that bad as I thought.
Okay, thank you for that view. I think it's interesting and inspiring for all of us who have to write reports one day. Just watch this episode and learn about this because I see your point. I think it's an interesting point of view. Yeah, good way. Okay, so let me ask you a different question. Because you have to write reports on the project, do you have a clear assessment of what was the impact? Was it worth it to run the project, concerning the projects that you have run so far?
Yeah, the impact. Well, as time goes by, you are more able to see them more clearly. Obviously, at the beginning, like we focus on the achievement of the objectives, making sure that everything goes according to plan. But when you realize, especially in the obviously in the implementation, that for example, in our case, the courses, do help the participants, like wherever an educational center that use the new techniques and see they are useful, they are really useful, or trainings that apply the new practices, new methodologies that we or our um, members of the consortium create, or even if we are able to facilitate like other organizations be connected with Europe. For example, obviously we were a start as a newcomers, and obviously now we have a department who focus on this project. So the impact that you can see in this kind of projects, it come even before starting the project. So it's not like the impact is not just what the project has met the objectives of the call. The real impact is the change that it could generate in long term. Networks that you create with other partners, other countries, the way that, for example, I don't know, trainers or teachers could improve the courses, classes, or something like that. And often this change you can see day by day in a small adjustments or changes of the participants in the practices, or and although you cannot always measure it 100%, but you feel that day by day you are contributing to a tangible improvement or in some point, either way, participants or the own organizations that been part of the project. So we can see the impact in a lot of little things, and just that's great. Like seeing, even if it's slowly, but you are seeing how everything is working on.
Mm.
So
One thing I've been learning with this question, asking this question, is more and more people mentioned or answer in a way that makes us believe that we underestimate the impact we write because we focus on the impact it has on the target groups, and that was the initial idea of the
yeah,
project. But in the end, it will have also impact on other stakeholders and on the partners themselves, and that also is important for the future. But I believe we underestimate these secondary impacts when we write
yeah,
both the proposals and then the reports. Maybe
yeah.
we should address that. Yeah.
We always try to clarify in the application, like the first time that we submit it, that we always have like a first target group, but we always and most of the times we have a second target group that are gonna be um, they're gonna impact them too. For example, even if our project is destined to, for example, a marginalized community, and try to help them to reduce the digital gap. For example, is one of the projects that we are coordinating now. obviously we know that the first target group are that people from that marginalized community, but obviously all the organizations participants, they keep that kind of materials and they can adapt in for other communities, other groups, and we can use it even more years after the project ended. So obviously we try to make clear for the European Union national agency that we try to create resources and methodologies that we could still use in after the end of the project, trying
In a
to
way, I think in a way,
a sustainable way to continue with it.
I think in a way we let the commission know that indirectly when we write new proposals and we say we are going to include what we have developed in previous projects. So in a way we are indirectly showing that we as partners are growing as well. But we don't include that in the evaluation of the previous projects. And actually, many of those projects, the way I see it, potentiate our capacities for the future. They make us, they give us new skills, new capabilities that we use in the future. So it becomes a positive for future. Speaking of future, speaking
For
of
sure.
which, what would you like to do in the future? What kind of projects are you open to consider in the future?
Well, I have to say that I would love to be able to learn something from all the calls. I just have so short professional experience in the field of European projects. Uh, just because I didn't know that this kind of funded programs would be so close to the private entities, for example. But I would love to know about everything. For example, right now we have submitted as a partners some Alliance for Innovation, and I'm quite
Hmm.
excited about it. Hopefully, we will get approved, and obviously, I will learn a lot about that and other fundings. Horizon, Life, whatever. Even the another key actions. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if it's 1, 3, or this kind in the European Plus program. I just want to know a lot of everything, not everything, but more about all the different programs that the European Union funds. There are so many opportunities
Sure.
out there, and the point I think for me that I'm starting like knowing this European project world is able to learn a little bit about everything.
Okay, so we'll have your contacts in the episode notes so that people can get in touch with you. Uh, Patricia from Valladolid.
Yeah.
And do you have a final message to close this interview?
Like advice or something.
Whatever.
Well, for example, if I have to be, like talk with myself at the beginning of this adventure in the European projects, probably I would tell myself like don't panic at the beginning. I remember my first steps and I was very overwhelmed with a lot of things. There are a lot of acronyms, many platforms, a lot of documents, but everyone learn about it. It's normal to feel lost at the beginning, and obviously the best advice that I could give is like look for partners that and found like a good communication. That's the key. Like being able to talk with all of the consortium, be able to get the solution for any kind of problems that it would get. And above that, uh, always think of the real impact that we just been talking, like not about fulfilling the project. Do something for your community, not just the final report, as you said. So that would be like an advice for the newcomers.
Okay, thank you very much. I love that glimpse you gave us of all the platforms and complicated, but they
Yeah,
actually are very important, those platforms. it could be easier sometimes. It could be simpler, but imagine you don't have any platforms. Imagine you have to email, not email, physical mail
Yeah.
proposals and all documents. So they are quite important. Okay, thank you very much, Patricia, for this interview. I hope we meet soon again. And for everyone in the audience, Patricia is in Valladolid, and her contacts are in our episode notes. So, bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, you want to make your mark in clean energy and industrial decarbonization and secure EU funding for your innovation? The LIFE 2025 SEAT Industry Call might be your best shot this year. Here's how you can turn this opportunity into a winning proposal. The LIFE 2025 SEAT Industry Call, under the Clean Energy Transition subprogram, funds projects that help decarbonize industry across Europe. The goal: develop, demonstrate, and upscale solutions for energy efficiency and deep decarbonization in energy-intensive sectors. Think innovative processes, digitalization, renewable integration, or new business models that can be rolled out at scale. Demonstrated pathways to reduce industry emissions, scalable and replicable solutions for energy efficiency, increased adoption of innovative decarbonization tech and processes. Eligibility: any legal entity from an EU member state or eligible associated country. Types of organizations: this includes private companies, SMEs, research centers, universities, public authorities, NGOs, and industry associations. Partnerships: proposals must involve a consortium, usually at least 3 independent entities from 3 different eligible countries. Strong partnerships between industry players, researchers, technology providers, and end users are encouraged. Budget available: the total indicative budget for the call is €99 million. Most project budgets will range from €2 to €7 million. Funding rate is typically up to 95% of eligible costs for most topics. Project duration usually 36 to 48 months. Co-financing: some co-financing is expected. Check the specific topic for details. Call opens 18th April 2024. Deadline for submission 19th September 2024, 5 p.m. Brussels time. Single stage submission. You submit your full proposal by the deadline. No pre-proposal required. Evaluation results expected by January 2025. Project start typically between May and August 2025. High impact, innovative solutions ready to be demonstrated at a significant scale. Projects that deliver measurable energy savings and emissions reductions. Strong business cases for replication and market uptake. Clear plans for exploitation, dissemination, and impact after the project ends. Align your proposal with the EU's Green Deal and energy transition goals. Build a strong, diverse, and committed consortium. Demonstrate scalability and replicability in your business plan. Address evaluation criteria, excellence, impact, and implementation. Applications must be submitted via the EU Funding and Tenders portal. Download the official call documents and topic descriptions. Follow the proposal template strictly. Address all points in the work program. Want to boost your chances? Use our free tools like the EU Funding Call Alignment Checklist, or join the InnovEU Proposal Review Circle for feedback before submission. Don't miss out. The LIFE 2025 CT Industry Call is one of the largest opportunities this year for organizations driving industrial decarbonization. The deadline is 19 September 2024. Start building your winning consortium now. For more details, visit the Funding and Tenders portal.
InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles, is a weekly video podcast. Please subscribe to the Polyxox newsletter to receive every podcast episode. And if you like receiving it, please press like in whatever platform you are watching or listening. Also, please share InnovEU and Polyxox with anyone you feel will enjoy it. Credits, author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.